Good morning, everyone. Come on in. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in. For those of you who are joining us on the replay, thank you so much for coming in and checking this out. And don't forget, those hearts do work. So if I'm providing you with some kind of useful content and you are appreciating what it is that you're hearing, just go ahead and give a little tap to the screen, and that'll let me know that I am providing you with that useful content and that you are enjoying what you're hearing, okay? All right, so we're going to give just a second for everyone to come on in. Come on in, come on in. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Are we good? Are we good? Good morning. All right. Good morning. How are you doing today? I pray everyone is well. We have everyone filtering in here. See, you guys got so used to me being here at 8:05 instead of 8 o'clock, I threw you off a little bit. Good morning, Miss Jenny. All right. Well, we are going to be talking a little bit about some of our different things that we tend to deal with, okay, which is dealing with some negative people. Now, by show of one in the box, how many of you have dealt with negative people in your life? Anyone? 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 Okay, we got a couple coming here, I believe. All right, so, well, then at least I know that I'm not alone. Okay, especially, I don't know what it is, but would y'all say that it seems like, especially when you're in direct sales, you tend to deal with a lot of negativity, and it's not necessarily from customers. It's not necessarily from colleagues. Many times it is from our family and friends who simply do not understand why on earth we would be doing this direct sales business. Okay. So that being said, we are going to discuss today a little bit about how to be able to deal with negativity. Okay. Now this was pulled from, it's a page called My Attitude, My Life, My Rules. Okay. Now, ordinarily, because there's so much my, I don't know that it would have captured my attention, because I just am not someone who tends to think along those lines. But needless to say, this did capture my attention. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be like extremely distracted because even though my dog was fed an hour ago, she's just now deciding that now is the perfect time for her to be out here slopping around in her bowl. I'm going, seriously? She's just now eating, even though it was put in her bowl an hour ago. This dog, she better get on the new schedule. I'm telling you. Okay. So pardon me, I'm going to be reading from my phone. But anyway, give me 1 second. Look, this morning is just starting off. I'm telling you, devil is trying to keep something from being said. Can I get an amen? Okay. All right. So, as I said, we're going to discuss what it means, or I should say, how we can possibly deal with the negativity that seems to come into our life. So these are some strategies on how to deal with negative people. The first is, where's it coming from? Okay, do you understand why this person is so negative? Is it because they hate their job? They feel frustrated, feel trapped in their life? Do they lack self-esteem? So the only way that they can feel powerful is by hurting others. If you can understand where it's coming from, it can be easier to deal with. Some people seem to think that the only way that they can get what they want is to be manipulative. Okay, remember the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, they believe this, and they think if they don't whine and complain that they won't be heard, and that this is the only way to get what they want. Remember that the negative behavior is a reflection of them. It tells you what kind of person they are and what issues they may be dealing with, but it is not a reflection of you. Okay, that first and foremost, I mean, just just reading that alone was kind of like, yeah, that's their issue. It's not mine. It's theirs. Okay. All right. So the second thing that you can do when dealing with negative people is simply just smile and remain detached. Okay. So it says, whenever the negative tirade starts, just smile and don't say anything. Remain completely detached from it and don't even get involved in it. Leave the room if you can. Okay. The negative person is simply seeking to get a reaction from you. That's what they feed on. Don't let them catch you in their web of negativity, because as soon as you do, that's when they will start draining your energy. It's the emotions of these negative people that stir up in you that you need to learn to distance yourself from. So the emotions that they bring up in you, that's what you're trying to avoid. That's what you're trying to get away from. Okay. So what it says is, try stepping back and observing the scene as though you're a spectator, not that you're actually involved in this. Good morning, Tracy. So maybe in your head, while this person is just ranting and just going on and everything, you could just be thinking to yourself, what a shame that this person is so unhappy. Maybe some of my positive energy will rub off on her. And if not, her unhappiness has nothing to do with me. Okay. So again, this tends to work well. Good morning, Myra. This tends to work well, especially for family members who you don't really have a choice whether they're in your life or not. Okay. Family is family. They're going to be there, but you can learn some different things to be able to deal with even those family members who are extremely negative and just tough to be around. Okay. The third one says, say, now tell me something positive. So right after they finish telling you some tragic story, say to them, now tell me a positive story. Some people have no idea how negative they've become. That's just what they've been surrounded by day in and day out. So it's just become a way of life for them. By being given a reminder, they may actually realize that being negative is not the kind of person that they want to be, and they may start to work on becoming more positive. Or they may simply decide that it's not worth telling you their horror stories because you'll ask them to think about something positive. Okay, so it says, sob sisters, ones who are always whining, feel the world is against them, feel that they're victims, will probably not find you very attractive anymore because you're not feeding into it. You're not egging them on, if you will. Okay. Number 4, and this one even says, yes, it sounds silly, but okay. Number 4, imagine a bright white light surrounding you. Okay. It's amazing how much of a difference it can make. You'll feel that their negativity can't touch you because you now have a force field protecting you. This person says, I used to have a really nasty manager who would constantly try to make me feel like an idiot. When I had a shower in the morning, I would imagine that I was being covered with a protective oil so that any of her comments would just slide right off of me. I also put up a Post-it note on my computer that said, you're gonna want this analogy. Okay, so the abbreviation is OIYLI, which stood for only if you let it. It reminded me that her comments could only hurt me if I let them. It was my choice how I reacted. Now, how often do we find ourselves getting caught up in the negativity that people are throwing our way, and then we allow that negativity to start creeping into us? Okay, so maybe you have someone in your life who is pulling this whole, I really don't understand why you're even doing this direct sales business. I mean, I really don't see it going anywhere for you. I mean, you haven't even really been doing shows, have you? And before you know it, you can start going, well, you know what? I really haven't been doing shows. And come to think of it, I mean, I don't even really have anybody on the line to do a show right now. And, you can start to take on their thoughts. You can also really take it to heart and really get your feelings hurt by them basically making it sound like, well, it sounds like you just can't be successful in this. Okay. So keep in mind that when they're saying things like that, it will only hurt your feelings if you allow it. If you instead take a look at things and go, you know what, maybe they're just not coming from a very good place. And obviously they're not. If they're trying to bash your dreams, chances are they are frustrated with themselves that they weren't brave enough to follow theirs. So they are now going to try and bash yours. Okay. That is unfortunate, but it's something that happens. Okay. It's something that happens. And if you can know that it's going to happen, you can be more prepared for it when it does. Okay. All right. Number 5 says, is it a sign? I find that the quote unquote universe, or in my terms, God, uses negative people as a way to get me to move on whenever I'm getting too comfortable in a situation that isn't challenging me anymore. It's like a prod that I should be focusing more on following my dream rather than just getting caught up in a nice, comfortable routine that isn't getting me anywhere. If I didn't have these people, then I would probably just stay. So sometimes I'm really grateful to these people because they're giving me the kick that I need. Okay. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I can tell you that especially as I have grown as a person, as I have grown spiritually, as I have grown, in my business and everything else, it's funny because sometimes I find that the people that I am surrounded by now are not the same people that I would have spent time with 10 years ago. And the people that I spent time with 10 years ago, I look at them now and go, they don't even fit in my life anymore. Like, they don't even fit in my lifestyle. They don't, like, y'all ever have people that you just look at and go, were we friends? Like, how did that happen? How were we friends? And many times it's because you have grown and have changed and are different, okay, now than what you were then. And who you were then was a good fit for that person. But who you are now, oh girl, tell me about it. She says, we're the guys that I've dated. Yes. Okay. But it is so funny because it just shows you, okay, I'm gonna give y'all this little, and I don't know that any of you know this about me. Okay. Many of you know my story was that I didn't wear jewelry. Okay. But here's the thing. It wasn't even just that I didn't wear jewelry. Okay. I did not like other women. I despised being around other women. I purposefully was friends with more guys than what I was girls because in my head, I thought women are just too petty. I don't want anything to do with them. They're too catty. They're this, they're that. Y'all, until I started spending time with ladies after spending so many years of hanging out with guys, did I understand that many of those guys were equally, if not more so, petty and gossipy and crybabies and this and that I'm like, okay, look, it's just people. It's not even a matter of, male or female. It is just certain people. And as I got involved with Premier and I started finding so many positive people, okay, yes, most family members, I don't understand it, but there's a lot of family members of direct sellers who they don't get it. They just don't get it. And I wish that they did, because truly, I think if they did, if they got it, it might be easier for them to be more supportive. But that's okay. That's okay. But the funny thing is that I just learned that there are just so many negative people. Like, it doesn't matter race, sex, upbringing, whatever. It does not matter. I have met some people who are God-fearing people who are some of the most negative people I've met in my life. And I go, how? How is this possible? Okay. But here's the thing. You're going to come across negative people. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if it's work, if it's your business, if it's at home, if it's a family reunion. Okay. You're going to deal with negativity. So these are just some tricks to kind of help you avoid that. Okay. All right. Number 6. What does it say about you? Negative people want to get a reaction out of you. And the only way that they can is if they hit one of your buttons. Okay. Or something that causes intense feelings for you. For example, they may bring out past feelings of guilt or anger to make you feel like you're being rejected or that you're not good enough. So if there's one particular person who drains you the most, ask yourself, why does it affect you so much? Okay. Sometimes you can learn a lot about yourself by analyzing what feelings it's bringing up within you. Once you figure it out and deal with it, then you'll find that the energy draining person simply has no power over you anymore. Okay. So if you have somebody again in your life, okay, so maybe you've been involved in several direct sales businesses over the years, and maybe the ones that you were in previously simply did not work and you lost money and everything else. And then when you come into, say, Premier, you come into something like this and your family goes, why are you doing this? Like, didn't you learn your lesson? You've already done how many of these direct sales businesses and you've never been successful in any of them and this and that. Okay. That's hurtful. That's tough. All right. But I want you to think about the feelings that tends to bring out in you when people are specifically bringing up certain topics or certain things that they know are just button pushing comments, and they are legitimately trying to get under your skin. Okay. First off, think about where they're coming from as far as why are they doing this? Like, why do they even want to? But first and foremost, think about the feelings that it brings on for you, and then use that as a way to say, you know what? That may have been true about other things, but this is going to be different. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it different, and I'm going to be good. Okay. A family member thinks you can't make more money than her with Premier because she has a degree. Yes. Okay. So listen, there are some family members out there who have even made comments such as, who do you think you are going out and making that kind of money doing so little? Okay. Listen, it does. It comes down to a matter of jealousy. It comes down to a matter of they just don't want to see someone succeed at doing something that's fun. And most of the time, that is because they have dealt with issues of basically them having to do a job that they hate to just scrape by. And when they have been unfulfilled, it angers them to see someone else being fulfilled in a different way. Thankfully, let me throw out there, thankfully that was not my family member, but someone within my direct sales downline. Okay. That was a comment that they had received from one of their family members. All right. So I'm telling you, people, now I do have a family member. She's never said a word to me, but she has made comments to other people about it when my mom was doing this business, not when I was doing it. So, so needless to say, there are just some who just do not understand. They just don't understand. And that's been my question for a long time. Okay. All right. So, number 7, trying to feel needed. All right. This was a tough one. I got some reflections coming in my window that are like right in my eyeballs. All right. Trying to feel needed is listening. Now listen, this might be tricky. This might be a tough one for those of you out there who love to help people. Okay. But I want you to really think about that. I'm trying to like inch up on my chair here. I'm so sorry. I'm having like ADD moments like crazy this morning. I apologize. Okay. All right. So is listening to the complaints of the negative person your way of feeling valued? Does it make you feel needed? If it does, then you need to start valuing yourself more, and you'll find that this just won't happen anymore. Be selective about who and how you help others. Just listening to negative tales over and over helps neither of you. Okay? And this is so stinking true. All right? Have you ever heard the term stop beating a dead horse? Okay? Listen, I'm not all for like animal cruelty or anything, but it makes sense in this particular analogy. How many times have you had someone who is just constantly, like every time you talk to them, it's the same thing over and over and over and over. And it's not helping you, it's not helping them, because listen, you're going to have people out there who will come to you seeking advice, and then when you try to offer them advice, they give you umpty million reasons as to why it will not work, excuses as to why it won't work, etc. And they're not doing anything to change their situation. Okay? In that moment, listen, you've done what you can do. Move on. Move on. Yes, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Exactly. Okay? All right. This says a good test to see if this is happening is to notice how you feel after, quote unquote, helping someone. If you feel drained, tired, annoyed, or frustrated, then all you've done is given over your energy to them. Okay? This isn't beneficial for you at all, and rarely does it help them in the long run. Yes, we need to try to be positive. Absolutely. Let's see here. This says, number 8 says, try saying, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, over and over. This is kind of an off-the-wall kind of theory, but it's worth a try. If you want to read an article about how a doctor healed an entire mental institution simply by saying these words, then read the story from Dr. Len. You can also listen to a couple of radio interviews with him on the News for the Soul. Okay, so apparently those are words of edification that people, when they hear them, it just makes them feel better. I don't know. I guess that's where it's going, because I didn't go look at the other story. All right. Number 9, it is not your fault. Okay. You may be feeling that you have to solve the problems of the energy drainer. You're not responsible for the person's life or their negativity. You don't have to feel guilty for them being unhappy. Let go of trying to fix or help them. That's not what they want anyway. They want your energy, so you have to be strong and not give it to them. Okay? A suggestion by Judy Orloff for dealing with draining coworkers is to keep mentioning to the person that you have work to do and you can only listen to them for a minute. So when they want to come to you and cry, whine, whatever you want to say, okay, when they want to complain, all right, to say, hey, yeah, sure, what you got going on? I only have a minute because I got to get back to work and got to go take care of this, okay? But it literally gives them just a little bit of time. Yes, exactly, okay? So if after a few minutes the person is still going on about the same thing, then either change the conversation or politely but firmly end the conversation. So again, to say, oh man, you know what? I'm really sorry to hear that you're going through that, but I gotta go. I got something over here I gotta go do. It's important to be able to let go of the idea that you owe everyone a solution. With some people, you just have to let them go. They have to take responsibility for their own lives, and they won't if someone is always there to fix it for them. So let go, all right? It sounds mean, but it definitely doesn't help them if they end up taking you down with them. In that case, then neither of you is benefiting. All right, 10. Oh, look at that. We still have 5 minutes. Okay. Be enthusiastic and focus on your energy. Yes. There you go. Bless and release. I like that. All right, so be enthusiastic and focus on your own energy. If you can be higher energy than they are, then your energy will likely start to rub off on those around you instead of the other way around. Also, the less you pay attention to them, the less they'll affect you. Now, this isn't saying, well, it might be saying, but this isn't saying for the purpose of ignoring them, okay? But just meaning that have any of you ever dealt with that for the most part, like you're always up here, but then somehow you get around someone that literally the second that you lay eyes on them, you become Eeyore. Anybody have that? That it's like they just they suck the life out of you before you even get a chance to talk to them, like just to see them. It's like, ugh, and you just start just feeling that dread of, oh, here we go. Okay, what if instead we focused on our own energy? We focused on our own, like, positive emotions. And instead, we went at them like a spider monkey. It was just all happy and ready to go. And, what if we went at them that way? Okay, now, first off, here's the thing. They might look at you and be like, this chick is crazy. Okay, this chick is crazy. But there's two things that are going to come from that. Either they're going to be like, okay, I am so done with trying to deal with her because she's just crazy. Like, I can't even, like, I just can't. Okay, or it's going to be like, oh my goodness, somebody positive. Here's the thing. Maybe, just maybe, they are the most positive person among the people that they typically spend time with. Isn't that crazy to think of? Okay, what if every person that they're generally around is even more of a mess, even more negative, even more distraught than they are? Okay, so they may be coming to you looking for that saving grace, but you also want to make sure that you're not getting caught up in it. Don't allow them to pull you down. If anything, you lift them up. And if they refuse to be lifted up, if they refuse to, and it's like time and time and time and time and time again, okay, and you're just getting nowhere with that person, it's time to just let them go. Let them go. Let them go find their fulfillment somewhere else, okay? But do not allow them to drag you down with them. Their problems are not your problems. One of the biggest things that I've been trying to get through to some people, and I'm not going to say any names, but there are some people that I've been trying to get through to their heads that not everyone else's emergency doesn't have to be yours. Okay? Did y'all ever have people who it's like they just like flock to you at like the most inopportune times and are going, I really need you to deal with this problem. But it's not really your problem to deal with. Okay? And you feel like you have to drop everything and help that person. Okay, but listen, if this is a problem that they have been dealing with over and over and over again, and you have attempted to help them on numerous occasions, it is totally okay to say, look, I would love to help you with this. However, this is a really bad time for me right now as I am in the middle of doing this or this or this or this, and I just am not able to do this right now, but I'd be happy to talk to you later. Okay? You don't have to drop everything and do it right then. Say, you know what, girl, I'd be happy to catch up with you, but it's going to have to be at a different time because this timing doesn't work. And guess what? Maybe by the time that you set up that time to go talk to her or to call her back or to text her or whatever, you might find that she no longer has that issue. She might be over it. Okay? So sometimes it's like the second that something happens, you have some people who are just like, oh my gosh, I have to tell this person. And she needs to know it right now because I just found out and I need to tell her right now. But listen, it has nothing to do with you. It's not even a topic that has your name written on it. So sometimes we have to be willing to say, not my circus, not my monkeys, okay? And we have to just be okay with that. We have to understand that is not being selfish, but it is us taking control of our own hearts, our own life, our own business, okay? And saying, you know what? I'm not going to allow the negativity to creep in. If y'all want some positive juice, come on over. I'll help you with that. But I'm not gonna. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna share this. Yes, so many times there's nothing you can do about it anyway. Okay, but here's the thing. I have been. Are y'all familiar with Stephen Furtick? He's a pastor, but he does these series, and I just absolutely love them. But the one that we are currently doing is Death to Selfie, and he was recently talking about how we tend to kind of eat from certain bowls that are basically instant gratification, but they get us nowhere in the long run. Okay, so you have to understand that there are some people out there that are eating sulky soup. Okay, and that's just what they want to do. If that's what they want to do at that point in time, let them, but you don't have to join in that meal with them. Does that make sense? I sure hope so. All right, I'm going to let you guys go because it is 8:31. Look at that. We were pretty close. Okay, 8:31, so I'm going to let you guys go. Tomorrow is our Truth Be Told Thursday. Thank you guys so much. You're too sweet. So tomorrow is Truth Be Told Thursday. That's where you get a chance to ask me the who, what, where, when, how, and why of what I do in my direct sales business. And that just allows you to be able to ask questions of maybe there's things that you're struggling with. Maybe there's topics that you're not quite sure how to handle, or maybe you're just looking for some different ideas. Okay, whatever it is, come join us tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and we will be able to answer some of those questions for you. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a very blessed day. Again, thank you so very much for being here. I so appreciate it. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.